Okay, hello. So, welcome, one and all, to the Games Monster Podcast with me, your host, David Postansky. And on today's show, we're going to be talking about everything Sonic the Hedgehog related, because today marks the 30th anniversary of the famous Sega Blue Blur. Yes, Sonic the Hedgehog, 30 years ago today, came out for the very first time. I think that's correct anyway. I should have done a moment's more research here, but I think it's 30 years since the original Sega Genesis, Sega Mega Drive game would have come out. But I don't know if it's so Sonic would have been announced beforehand, but I suppose you announce a baby before you give birth, so we knew it was in development. Everyone knows that there was the trivia where some company making some cheap game on the Amiga put Sonic the Hedgehog in it before it actually came out on the Mega Drive, just as a goof. So there's a little bit of trivia for you. Can't remember what it was. I think I saw it on a YouTube video once about that. I can't remember what it was though. Larry Bundy Jr. or something like that. Video from him, so shout out there. But Sonic the Hedgehog, 30 years. We're going to go over all of the highs and lows of Sonic's time, but mostly it is highs, because even though I think a lot of people say Sonic had his best games when Sonic the Hedgehog was on the Mega Drive, and has it ever really reached that height again? And some people like what came out on the Dreamcast, but then they say it hasn't aged as well with time. It's absolutely unquestionable that Sonic the Hedgehog is a gaming institution and a gaming legend. So let's go a tiny bit onto the history of Sonic the Hedgehog. So let's find out here. 1991. So Sega, look at this, I'm checking my facts on Wikipedia. That Sega wanted a mascot, and they were going with the whole Genesis does what Nintendo don't, and they wanted the character to give the attitude that they were going with their marketing. And so they ended up coming up with the fast blast processing gameplay, easy for me to say, gameplay that we had on the Genesis, and they had the speedier than Mario Sonic the Hedgehog as a result. So let's go through a list of all of the games that come out. Now, Sonic the Hedgehog, the original one, did come out for the Genesis, the Mega Drive. I'll flip back and forth between calling them either or. And it was a really good game. Now, everyone remembers Green Hill Zone. I'm going to give my thoughts on some of each of the games and speak about some of the highs and some of the low points from each console generation. But Sonic the Hedgehog 1, Green Hill Zone, is just so much fun. It's such a memorable level. The theme music, that one. I didn't do a good rendition there, but whatevs. So, Green Hill Zone, absolutely iconic level, really fun to explore. You can find different routes in the level, and you collect the rings, and you end up fighting Robotnik at the end, and it's all really good. And then whatever the next level is, I can't remember what it's called. I don't think it's Emerald Hill Zone, but whatever. It's really difficult. It is so much harder. So by the time I get through to the third, list of Sonic the Hedgehog video games, so now I can easily find them. So by the time I get through to the third world out of 6, I was dying. I've completed most of the early Sonic the Hedgehog games, but I legitimately didn't complete the original Sonic the Hedgehog game until about 4 years ago, when I had it on the Sega Genesis collection on Steam, where you could do that rewind feature. And my god, towards the end of the game, I was using it constantly, and that was a little bit I could have plowed through and just used it a little bit, but I just wanted to get through to the end of Sonic the Hedgehog, and I wanted to do it in an hour. So I was oh yeah, I can use this rewind feature and make sure I get to the end. But I never completed the original Sonic the Hedgehog back in the day. I just found it too challenging. It just the difficulty level for me spiked really quickly. So anyway, let's see, 6 principal zones, followed by a short final zone. I don't think it's got the name of the level, which is a shame. I can't remember the name of the different zones after Green Hill Zone. But one thing as well, by the time I originally played Sonic the Hedgehog, when I first got a Mega Drive, I think I had played Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on a friend's Mega Drive. So Sonic the Hedgehog 2 obviously introduced the spin dash and it introduced Tails. So going back to Sonic the Hedgehog 1, like after that, where you just have to run and quickly hit down and it makes Sonic just sort of like turn into like his ball so he can do attacks and stuff like that. It's not the same as the spin dash where you can properly think, right, I'm going to speed, I'm going to get this much momentum, I'm going to smash through walls, I'm going to smash through bad guys. And so not having that was like a real pain. Actually, I'm trying to think now, on Sonic Jam on the Sega Saturn, I think they added the spin dash, so maybe I completed it there back in the day as well. I honestly can't remember. But I know that you could do that, and maybe you could save as well. Or maybe you could spin dash, but you still couldn't save, and saving was just a Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles thing. But either way, regardless, without that, and also early days playing Sonic the Hedgehog, like 2, 3, etc., I would play as Tails, because Tails could fly, and that would make it feel a lot more accessible, give that slightly easier mode for those who felt like, well, this helps me get to jumps that I couldn't do, or whatever else, to play as Tails. Same with Knuckles, because he could climb walls. But the first one, as much fun as it is, and I have played Sonic the Hedgehog 1 probably almost every year since I originally had a Mega Drive in 1996, I believe. So yeah, I was a little bit late to the party. My first console was the Super Nintendo, so I didn't get a Mega Drive straight away. But that being said, I actually did play the Master System first. So I would have had the Master System with Sonic, Sonic 2, and Sonic Chaos, and then I would have got the Mega Drive. So in fact, my first Sonic experience, I think, if I remember correct, was Sonic 2 for the Master System. And if memory serves, on that one, you cannot play as Tails. Tails is there, but he's a non-playable character. And then you don't get to play as Tails until Sonic Chaos, which, of the 3 Master System games, was the one I liked the most. I felt it was the one that felt most like the Mega Drive games. Like I said, you could do Spin Dash, you could play as Tails, because I even think on Sonic 2 on the Master System you can't do the Spin Dash. But they're still fun games. But again, I think I completed them, but you know, their challenge is just a bit more. Things just got a little bit easier when they put in the Spin Dash, put in Tails, put in Knuckles. So let's have a look. I have played Sonic the Hedgehog 1 though. So counting the Master System game as Sonic the Hedgehog 1, because it's still got the same name. I played that on the Master System, got it on the Game Gear. I think I had it on like the Sonic Mega Collection Plus. And I don't know if I've played it on anything else. But the Mega Drive game, I played it on the Mega Drive, I've played it on Sonic Jam on the Sega Saturn, I played it in the Mega Collection on the GameCube, Mega Collection Plus obviously, like all of the Genesis collections. I've got it on the 3DS, I've got it on the like on Xbox, I've got it on like iOS, so you know, everyone has had the opportunity to play the original Sonic the Hedgehog game countless times. I've got the Sega Mega Drive Mini, and you know, I think I even had it on like the Wii because it was on the Virtual Console. So it's just one of these games that, like the original Super Mario Brothers, has been put onto so many machines that you know, you end up buying it over and over again when you get a new machine. Especially nowadays when you can get downloads of games. It's like, oh yeah, I'll have Sonic the Hedgehog, that'll be fun. Then once again, I just play through the first zone, the first world, get to the second one, suddenly it's a bit more challenging. Just about get through it. If you can do save states, great, but if not. But anyway, so that was Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 really did up things, just because, like I keep mentioning, it introduced Tails. I feel like they refined the gameplay. It was for me, a much more accessible game. Back in the day on the Mega Drive, I did actually complete it like in one sitting, as you had to. And as much as I loved Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and I think that introduced Metal Sonic, or am I just literally remembering that came in Sonic CD? I didn't get Sonic CD for many years. I eventually got Sonic CD to play, I think, when it was in the Sonic Gems collection. I don't think I'd actually got it on the Mega CD, even though I do own a Mega CD, but I think it was always too expensive by the time I got one. But then Sonic 3 came out, and just the fact that you could save, you could play as Knuckles and Tails and Sonic. And Sonic, interestingly enough, became my go-to character to play as on the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 game. Just because, obviously, some people might say, well, Sonic is faster. But like Knuckles can climb walls, Tails can fly. So it's like, well, why would you end up playing as Sonic? But then Sonic ended up having like that ability where you could double jump, where like you'd press it, and especially if you'd got like the electricity power up or the flame power up, you could use it to like zoom across the screen, or you could use it to like do electricity double jump. And I don't think the others could do that, because I think they're like Knuckles gliding or Tails flying would kick in instead. So Sonic did end up becoming my go-to character on that for those reasons. But Sonic 3, oh my god, let's backtrack a moment, talk about like the Chaos Emerald bonus levels across the Sonic games, because Sonic 3 had my all-time favourites. Just because back in the day on the Mega Drive, suddenly it was a 3D platformer, and it was incredible. You think of like Super Mario Galaxy, where you've got like the gravity and you go around like the planets and spheres. Yeah, Sonic already did that. And then when Sonic did like Sonic Lost Worlds, and it's like, oh yeah, Sonic plays around with gravity like in Super Mario Galaxy. It's like, no. Sonic is going around like he did in Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. And they're just super fun bonus games, the bonus levels. Obviously, in the original Sonic the Hedgehog 1, you had like the rotating, little bit pinball-like environment, and we'll get to Sonic Spinball in a second. And they were fun as a challenge. They were definitely like a different style of stage, but I always found them quite frustrating, just because, again, with everything else on the original Sonic the Hedgehog, I found that the difficulty spiked. And on the original Sonic the Hedgehog, I think you'd have to get 50 rings across the stage, and then you'd be able to go into the bonus level to try and get Chaos Emerald. And again, so this is what's in my memory. I think I completed the original Sonic the Hedgehog, quite possibly on Sonic Jam, but I didn't get all of the Chaos Emeralds until I could do the rewind feature on the Mega Drive Classics collection. That's like on modern consoles, where you can rewind to make sure you don't lose the rings, get the Chaos Emeralds, and that's what I did on that. On Sonic 2, obviously, it has that you're going, once again, playing a little bit with gravity, or maybe it's just momentum, going like loop-de-loop round, but from a almost Crash Bandicoot-like perspective. So it's, again, got that 3D behind the character view. You can't turn back around like on Crash Bandicoot, nor can you on Sonic 3 when you're going around the spheres. Collecting the spheres, in fact, on like the bigger spheres. But that was almost so much fun, and the way it would speed up, and you'd try to get every single one of the blue spheres. I think it was called Blue Sphere, in fact. The fact that they kept it for Sonic Knuckles. Now, to me, Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, they each seemed like big meaty games on their own, and maybe because it got a save feature and you could get through it because of that. Like Sonic 3 always felt like, I didn't feel that, it felt like it was a game cut in half, but obviously we know that it was meant to be Sonic 3 and Sonic Knuckles was just going to be one game, but to make sure they met deadlines, they split it in half. Now, I always find that a bit of a curious thing, because imagine if you think, oh, we're going to miss a deadline, we're going to split this game in half, but we still want people to be able to play the full experience. We're going to invent a lock-on cartridge where the character and like the progress can carry over. It's like, surely that would have taken ages to have figured that out. Because, like, how did they have that just available? Couldn't they do that with tons of other games? Obviously, we had things like Game Genie and whatever, but couldn't they use that on loads of games if that was just something already that, yeah, we can do this lock-on thing? So your character, your levels, your save carries over from one game into the next cartridge. Why couldn't they do that with tons of games if that was the case? Why couldn't, like, they do it so that you get, like, FIFA, and then they do, like, add-on cartridge FIFA, so it's like, or lock-on cartridge FIFA, so then it's just got, like, the new roster. That sounds like that would have been so up EA Sports' alley going back in the day. But anyway, it always is a little bit of a mystery of how they were able to come up with that extra technology instead of just, like, finishing the whole game. But if you ever just played Sonic and Knuckles, if you just got Sonic and Knuckles and put it into your Mega Drive, you couldn't save. So the pro tip, and obviously they probably did this to encourage you to play the full adventure, is when you played Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you'd play Sonic 3 where you could save, and then you'd play Sonic and Knuckles and be able to continue to save. And that was probably just them being sneaky so that they didn't have to put battery back up into both cartridges. But you could also then play Sonic 2 with Knuckles, and it's just like, how did they, like, bug test that? And they couldn't, like, create the extra Sonic 3 levels in time just to make that one game, but they could work out the technology so you can take a character from Sonic and Knuckles and put it into Sonic 2 when it wasn't designed for that at all, and, like, it won't just glitch the game. Like, I think there's places where it's like, oh yeah, you weren't supposed to come here because Knuckles can climb a wall, but there isn't really anything there. But I don't think there was any, like, game-breaking bugs. So it's like, oh yeah, if you go here as Knuckles, then it won't work. Now, obviously, you couldn't add Knuckles to the original Sonic the Hedgehog, and that would have been great if they'd made it so you could play as Knuckles or Tails, or have the spin dash on the original Sonic the Hedgehog by doing the lock-on cartridge. But maybe that was something where they wanted to do it, but it was just too difficult with the time they had available. Why they've never gone back and done it, I don't know, because they could always do it nowadays, but it is what it is. Also on the Mega Drive, the Genesis, we had Sonic Spinball, which I can't remember if I ever actually completed it all the way through. I would like to say I did, but it was one of these ones where for several years I was on, like, the first world. I'd get to the second world and it'd pretty much be game over straight away. I found it much harder. I found the graphics of Sonic looked slightly off. It didn't look like the same character model from, the same sprites, when I say character model, from the original Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 2, or Sonic 3. It was his own unique design on that game. It looked slightly more squashed. It was very dark as well, because you start, like, underground or whatever. It didn't have that bright, fun feeling of the early levels on other Sonic the Hedgehog games, or like the casino levels, or things which often where you'd get pinball style aspects of Sonic the Hedgehog naturally. Felt a much darker game, at least to begin with, but I don't know how much I remember the later levels off the top of my head. What else we have? So Sonic CD had, like, cutscenes. That was cool. Obviously, it was made by the Sonic 1 team, so Sonic CD actually feels closer to Sonic the Hedgehog 1 than it does to Sonic the Hedgehog 2 or 3. And lots of people say Sonic CD was the best Sonic game. Probably because I didn't play it for many years. That's not quite my opinion. And when I played it on the Sonic Gems collection, I was like, yeah, it's great to finally be able to play it. Played it all the way through. Metal Sonic, yada yada yada, but probably it didn't have the same impression on me as it would have if I had actually played it back in the 1990s. But yeah, still a really good game. Then what else we get here? So this is where things are a little bit interesting, because again, just going through the release dates of some of the games, it's then got, like, Knuckles Chaotix. Oh yeah, we'll come to that in a second. But Sonic Triple Trouble, which was for the Game Gear, but I didn't get to play it because it didn't come out in the UK. So it wasn't until it was in the Sonic Gems collection that I would actually play it. Or Sonic Gems collection or Sonic Mega Collection Plus, either way. But as best I remember, that was a good game, and it was one that introduced Knuckles onto like the 8-bit games, and I think that was all right. But then there was another one with Knuckles, which I forget the name of it. I'll come to it obviously in a minute. But I think it was where the sprites kind of looks like CGI like, and they were just overly. This may have been Sonic Blast, in fact, but not Sonic 3D Blast, but like Sonic Blast for the Game Gear. Yeah, here it is, Game Gear, and it says Master System. I think the graphics were huge on it, and I feel like the gameplay was slower. It was too zoomed in. But sorry, I'm skipping forward there, but I was just trying to remember it. So Sonic Triple Trouble introduced Knuckles on the Game Gear. As best I remember, it was like a fun game, but then Sonic Blast, I think I completed, and it might have been quite an easy game, but I don't think it was anywhere near as good. Sonic spin-off, and what was it originally called? Oh, let's see, I'm going to find out. Knuckles Chaotic was originally going to be a Sonic game where you were tethered together, and they ended up doing it. So let's see what it's called. Sonic Crackers. So originally it was called Sonic Crackers, or at least that's what it became known as, because there was a ROM of it that got leaked to the internet where you'd run around as Sonic and Tails tethered together. And isn't it amazing that Sonic and Tails tethered together ended up becoming, what game was it like on the original Xbox generation? Let's just grab the name of it just so I give you the correct thing. So what was it called? 3D platformers. Sonic Heroes, where the characters are tethered together. So it's amazing that they did revisit the idea, but they've never re-released Knuckles Chaotic. So Knuckles Chaotic, clearly for me, could have been a Mega Drive game, should have been a Mega Drive game, and I've said on previous podcasts talking about Sonic, they probably, in the light of things that went wrong with the 32X, they should have released Knuckles Chaotix as a launch title for the Saturn. And people would have been like, oh, it's not Sonic, this still kind of looks like a Mega Drive game. But if they'd put in whatever 3D bonus stages and something just to say, well, look, this is what the Saturn can do, then it would have just given that Sonic representation for the early days of the Sega Saturn. And it would have been a little bit like years later with the GameCube, where it's like, well, we got Luigi's Mansion, but you're going to have to wait a little bit longer to get the Super Mario Sunshine 3D Mario platformer. This would have been, well, you've got Knuckles Chaotix, and you're going to have to wait a little bit longer to get the Sonic platformer, but this will tide you over in the meantime. They should have done that. But otherwise, yeah, it was a good game. I quite liked the gameplay of the characters tethered together. It made it for some interesting puzzles. Obviously, it slowed down the Sonic formula a bit. But overall, yeah, Knuckles Chaotix is a good game. They should definitely re-release it. And look, this is just going through on the Wikipedia list, just rather than completely by date, it's going by 2D platformers and stuff. So, I'll tell you what, I'll cover the 2D stuff, and then I'll come to the 3D stuff, just so I'm not jumping back and forth here. So then, yep, we've got Sonic Blast. It says Sonic the Hedgehog Pocket Adventure. I think this has skipped one, actually. It definitely has. So, first of all, there was Sonic Jam for the Sega Saturn, which had got Sonic, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Sonic and Knuckles. Didn't put Sonic Spinball in there. Didn't give us Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and I'll mention both of these now. But Sonic the Hedgehog, it had got the enhancements so that you could do the spin dash. And I can't remember if you could save on all of the games, but it was a really good collection to play on the Sega Saturn. And it also had the Sonic World 3D level, which I guess would be a prelude to Sonic Adventure. But it was just like a Green Hill Zone, couple of like mini games and things that you could do, view artwork. It was like a hub world like you get on Super Mario 64. And it was just a shame that they didn't develop this concept into an actual 3D Sonic the Hedgehog game, because clearly by the time they'd made this test level for Sonic Jam, this is exactly what Sonic 3D adventure game should have been on the Sega Saturn. But by the time they came up with it, they're probably like, let's just hold this for the Dreamcast, because that way we come out with a big hitter, and people have been waiting for it, and that's exactly what happened. But yeah, like I mentioned, it didn't include Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, which I believe is just like Pew. I've never known how to pronounce that. Pew. Oh my god, I feel like I can't say it. Puyyo. Puru. Like I've got Puru Tetris. I don't know how I'm saying this. Sound like an absolute imbecile here. Maniac. But that was a fun game, obviously. And then connecting it to Dr. Robotnik gave it that Sonic the Hedgehog rub. It's interesting though, because I don't think Nintendo, even though they've put out like WarioWare, Wario World, Wario Land, Wario's Woods, I don't think they'd ever just be like, here's the Bowser adventure, even though there might be a couple of games that've got Bowser in the title. They wouldn't put a game just based around the bad guy like that, but Sega did. I'd love it if they re-released a version of Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machines, but just like with the Jim Carrey graphics, like in the end of the movie. But we'll come to the movie soon. What else was there? Sonic 3D Blast. Oh, that was on the Genesis, so that was a 3D game. So we'll come back to that. But what else do we have here? So we also got Sonic Jam for the Tiger Gamecom, which if you have a Gamecom or if you track down a Gamecom, it's an amazing thing to play because it's a black and white system. It says it's Sonic Jam, so you think it's going to be Sonic like 1, 2, 3 and Knuckles, but it's not. It's just got some levels themed after what you get in like Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 3. I don't know if it's got things from Sonic 2 in there, but I don't think any of the levels are actually the original levels or the original level design even. It's just that they've got like the similar style enemies and graphics and background objects. And it's for the Gamecom, so it means it's not very good. You can complete the game quite quickly, but for a Gamecom game, if you're a Gamecom collector or just want to get some obscure Sonic thing, you can have some fun with it. So do check that out. But then it's got here Sonic the Hedgehog Pocket Adventure for the Neo Geo Pocket. If I remember correctly, this was a version of Sonic 2. I did have it, I still do have it. I haven't played it in so many years. But once again, this was in the era where people were saying, yeah, all of the Sonic 2D games are great, and then the 3D ones were starting to falter. Sonic, and I think in fact, Sonic Pocket Adventure may have been able to connect to the Dreamcast in some way. Let's just see if I can fact check that. So, could it connect to the Dreamcast? Maybe, or maybe there was an idea for it to do so, but then it didn't. Who knows? Who knows? We got Sonic Advance, Sonic Advance 2, Sonic Advance 3. I can say that I definitely played all three of them. My best memories of the first one, and again, Sonic Advance for the Game Boy Advance, and it being like one of the first times, or maybe the very first time that we got a Sonic game for a Nintendo machine. It was a huge deal. Now, it was definitely the first, I think, original Sonic game for a Nintendo machine. It may have been that we got Sonic Adventure 2 Battle beforehand, I'm not sure though. But you could definitely connect Sonic Adventure 2 Battle and Sonic Advance with the Game Link cable to do the KO Garden thing that you could do on the Dreamcast. But then, okay, so Sonic Rush Adventure. I think I've got Sonic Rush. I can't really remember. This is where this is the interesting thing for me, and you're going to see this more and more as this podcast goes on, is that for the early days, I remember these games so well, because back in the day, you had less games, and you'd play them over and over again, and I was perhaps more into Sonic, but then I've always been into Sonic, but like I might nowadays, as time's gone on, dating back to the mid-noughties, I might play a Sonic, and then I put it to the side and I don't come back to it. So I would have played through all of the first Sonic Advance games. Sonic Rush I've definitely played. I don't think I ever had Sonic Rush Adventure. And I'm trying to think what made it an adventure. I don't think it was like the RPG one. There were Sonic RPGs that came out, but I'll get to them down the list. So then what's quite interesting is we get to 2010. So after Sonic Rush Adventure, the next 2D Sonic was Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1. And it came out on all the major consoles, also for iPhone. And I think I got it for the Wii, because you could download it. But I also got it for iPhone, or maybe you could just get like the first level on your iPhone for free. I can't quite remember where I played it, but I remember that people weren't happy that this was Sonic 4 Episode 1 and then Sonic 4 Episode 2, and I don't know if the idea was that there would be a third one. Just as I'm talking about it, I'll see if I can fact check it anymore. Sega was not planning to release any further episodes of Sonic 4. It was revealed Sonic 4 was originally conceptualized as a trilogy, but plans to develop Episode 3 were abandoned. So I don't massively remember Episode 2. I don't know if I completed it. I remember that people liked it, but people's opinions of it have dramatically soured as the years have gone on. And it's interesting just because it was called Sonic the Hedgehog 4, but it didn't look like... It looked modern. It had the modern design of Sonic, and I think that was people's biggest bugbear at the time. And maybe the physics of Sonic weren't quite what they would have wanted for Sonic. If you're going to call it Sonic the Hedgehog 4, then people expected it to play a bit more like Sonic 1, 2, and 3. And here's the interesting thing, because everyone was like, but Sonic and Knuckles is Sonic the Hedgehog 4. But obviously Sonic and Knuckles was originally just the second half of Sonic 3, so you can understand why they would call it Sonic 4. But this also came in an era where namings of things was all kind of weird. Like, we didn't get like Windows 9. Windows 9 got skipped, which is super weird. Like, we got Windows 8, Windows 8.1, then we got Windows 10. Coincidentally, we didn't get... What is it with the number 9? We got Red Dwarf Series A, then we got, and I know it's like people don't even know what Red Dwarf is, it's a British sci-fi sitcom. Then we got Red Dwarf Back to Earth, which was just a 3-part mini-series, and they said, well, that was a 9th series, even though it wasn't called Series 9. And then we got Red Dwarf Series 10. And I think in the story of Red Dwarf Series 9, Back to Earth, they speak about a fabled Red Dwarf Series 9, but you never actually properly got one. And then, if you remember, iPhone had the iPhone 8, because I've got an iPhone 8, and then the next one was the iPhone, like, may have been 8 Plus or 8S or whatever, but then it was just the iPhone 10. So what is the issue with the number 9? Maybe it's bad luck somewhere. Who knows? But the number 9 often gets skipped, and I'm not sure why. So, in this same period, maybe these are all number 9s, and that doesn't really relate to Sonic at all. But there was a thing where you would get things where, I can't remember the other examples now, but Sonic the Hedgehog 4, when we'd already got something that people thought was Sonic 4, it may have been, okay, I remember, like Resident Evil. You got Resident Evil, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3. Resident Evil Code Veronica was originally going to be Resident Evil 3, but clearly they swapped the naming things just so that it satisfied whatever deal that Capcom had got with Sony. So then Resident Evil Nemesis became known as Resident Evil 3. Resident Evil 3 became known as Resident Evil Code Veronica, which effectively made it Resident Evil 4. But then we actually got a game called Resident Evil 4 anyway. And that's what was quite weird, because there was 2 games which are effectively Resident Evil 4. Because there's no reason why Code Veronica isn't Resident Evil 4. But David, I'm here to listen about Sonic the Hedgehog. You've gone off on a tangent. Yes, a massive one, but I'm coming back. So, Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 1, Episode 2. I remember people liked the first one. Obviously, the second one just didn't do as well. And then, let's see, it says it got mixed reviews, and then they just didn't do it. 63 out of 100 on Metacritic. Let's see what the first one got. Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 1. And let's see, generally positive reviews. I don't know why the second one did so much worse. I think the nostalgia must have just wore off for people. And then the most recent, and this is shocking in itself, it says here 2D Sonic game. Now obviously there are other games that heavily rely on 2D, but this is pure 2D, is Sonic Mania, which it's just like, that's such a fascinating story, because people always go on about Christian Whitehead, and I really I wouldn't have a clue who Christian Whitehead is, except for he's so hyped up as being this guy that made Sonic fan games and then ended up working on Sonic Mania. So, why they needed him to do it, like just to, because I wouldn't have known who he was. You know, it was the Sonic fan community, like the Sonic fan game community, so big that everyone's like, my goodness, we're getting Christian Whitehead in. And this isn't to diss him, it's just weird, because I can never think of another example like this, where someone who created illegal fan games, basically, even if they were supported, they weren't like official, is what I mean, not rather than illegal, was then brought in to actually show Sega how to make a Sonic game. It's weird. Why do that as the marketing angle? Say that, hey, we're Sega, we don't know how to make a Sonic game anymore, so we're going to get a Sonic mega fan to do it. Anyway, so Sonic Mania is really fun. I think they then did Sonic Mania Plus, or whatever it was called. Sonic Mania Plus. I don't think I played that one, but Sonic Mania was a lot of fun, but I think Plus may have put in the characters from Knuckles Chaotix. And I'm trying to remember who they were, like someone the alligator, Angry Armadillo, or whatever it was like this. See if it says who it was. Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel from the arcade game Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, which is a game I think I've played on a ROM, but I don't know it enough to be able to talk about that. Let's talk about things that are 3D, starting with Sonic 3D Blast. So Sonic 3D Blast is a 3D platformer, like isometric view on the Mega Drive. I first played it on the PC, which meant that I got the Sega Saturn version rather than the Mega Drive version. Sega Saturn version had got the 3D bonus stages done by Sonic Team, and that was meant to be like, well, we can't give you an actual Sonic Extreme game, which is what was planned, but we'll give you some souped up Mega Drive game with some bonus levels, which will look nice on the back of the box. But Sonic 3D Blast, obviously it was a much slower game, and some people think, Sonic is all about the speed, and this is what I think is the problem with 3D Sonic games, is they are so fast. They're basically just like hold up to win, because controlling Sonic is so difficult when compared to like controlling Mario. And I think like the speed should be in moderation. You could have sections that are fast, and then you could have bits that are a bit more about the exploration, and that's what Sonic Adventure did. And it got that balance right, even though when you go back and play the game, the camera kind of sucks. The controls don't feel very good nowadays. They haven't held up well compared to something like Super Mario 64 from even before that, a couple of years before that. But if they'd focused more on refining the controls, just so it felt a bit more like the 3D controls of Crash Bandicoot or Super Mario, I think the exploration side of Sonic, which was a big part of going different routes and things, not just hold right and smash jump here and there, I think that would have felt really good. But regardless, so we got, eventually after Sonic Jam with the Sonic World, we got Sonic Adventure, which just mentioning about, it brought in so many characters. Big the Cat, E102 or whatever the robot was called, Amy Rose, Knuckles, Tails. And here's the thing, playing as Big the Cat and having to do the fishing, you could have cut that. Amy Rose, I think her levels kind of sucked as well. I can't really remember. E102 having a shooting thing in there. It felt a little bit, this was a bit like Donkey Kong 64, where you had to play through so many different stages as different characters. And they may have been that you had unique stages for each character in this, but you'd find the characters which you'd find are your favourites, and yeah, so what was I going to say? So Sonic Adventure had the different characters, and some of them would feel a bit of a drag to do, and some of them would be more fun to do. But either way, it was a good game. Sonic Adventure 2, I think, improved things so much. Like Sonic Adventure 2 introduced Shadow the Hedgehog, and it was just infinitely a much like more fun game. It took away the hub world, which is an interesting thing, just because I didn't miss it. The hub world was fun and it has this exploration thing, but it was just really fun just to play through the levels and to do more grinding. And yeah, there was Sonic, yeah, there was Shadow. I think it may have just cut down to those two characters. I don't think you could play as Knuckles. I don't think you could play as Tails. You definitely couldn't play as Big the Cat or E105, 102, whatever it was. But Sonic, Sonic and Shadow worked really well. And it actually felt, for me, like a callback to when you first had Tails, and not Tails, first had Knuckles, and there was this rival to Sonic the Hedgehog. And that dynamic, I think, has always worked really well in Sonic games, just to have the character and the competing character who would go against Sonic and has got more attitude. And eventually, of course, this, rather than leading to Sonic Adventure 3, we would get Shadow the Hedgehog, and this one was a little bit of a cluster. It was so hyped, everyone was so excited. It was said that Shadow is going to have guns in it, and they did have him have guns, but they dialed back how adult it was going to be, how violent it was going to be, because it looked like it could be going down the route of Conker's Bad Fur Day, but instead it kind of just didn't do that. Instead, it was... let's have a look here. Instead, it was... Oh my goodness, sorry about this, guys. Just seeing what's going on here. Right, so yeah. It was just not quite as good a game. It was a game that was a bit of a Frankenstein game. Couldn't quite decide what was its direction. But sorry, I've already skipped here. There was Sonic Heroes, which, as I mentioned earlier, was the tethered together Sonic games. And I'm trying to remember what the teams were on it. So you had... Was it that you had Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles were like the dream team? I'm trying to remember what the alternative teams were. So Team Dark, which was Shadow, Rogue the Bat, and new character E123 Omega, considered spiritual successor to E102. It was E102 Gamma. And then Team Rose, which was Amy, Cream the Rabbit, and Big the Cat. Now that kind of makes sense, but it feels like that's just like the B team. It feels like Amy Rose should be with Sonic, so it just feels a bit off that that's not the case there. But anyway, and then was there Team Chaotix, which was Espio the Chameleon, Charmy Bee, and Vector the Crocodile. See, Vector coming back from Knuckles, but then Espio the Chameleon and Charmy Bee. I don't even remember these characters, and it's weird that they would come up with a whole team of complete unknowns like that. But anyway, so it was a good game. I remember playing all the way through that one. I then remember, and this is probably one of the last games which I absolutely loved and played all the way through, but everyone hated, Sonic the Hedgehog for Xbox 360 and PS3. I played it on the PS3. I even bought the DLC for it. I liked it this much. But everyone else hated, and this was to celebrate Sonic the Hedgehog's 15th anniversary. That's amazing reading that now. Sonic the Hedgehog for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 was said it was so broken, but to me it was like the proper follow-up to Sonic Adventure 1. It felt most like Sonic Adventure 1. I thought the graphics on it looked great. I really enjoyed playing it, but other people didn't like it, and instead released within a short while. There was Sonic and the Secret Rings for the Wii, and I didn't get on with that game at all. I've tried to play it, I just found it difficult with the controls. Sonic Unleashed made things better for a lot of people, but people didn't like the werehog levels, so where it was like Sonic turns into a werewolf. I really liked it as a game, but again, I don't think I played it all the way through. I don't think I've played Sonic and the Black Knight on the Wii at all. I did play Sonic Colors, and that's getting a Ultimate Edition or a re-release, so that's a good game. And this is where, like, it was along this time where I think, even if I'm remembering, Sonic Unleashed and obviously Sonic Colors and then Sonic Generations, these games started saying, hey, we're going to have 3D Sonic levels, and we're also going to have 2D Sonic levels, and it'll be the best of both worlds. And to some degree it is, and to other degrees it isn't. But, sorry, 1 second there. Just getting distracted with this message, trying to switch my phone, make sure it's on silent. But having the 2D levels, people would say, oh, well, the 2D levels are really great. Sometimes the 3D levels aren't as great. And Sonic Generations were like, do you like classic Sonic? Do you like modern Sonic? And they always had classic Sonic as if he was not as smart, not as heroic, or whatever else. But Sonic Generations is a really good game. Sonic Lost World, Wii U exclusive. And obviously there was a version for the 3DS as well. And it's interesting just because it's not perhaps as well loved. Because they tried to do this whole Super Mario Galaxy thing to it, and it just didn't get as well received, which is, to be honest, to be expected, because Sonic games post Mega Drive has never been seen as equal to Super Mario games. Sorry for the Sonic Mega fans out there, but I think that's just kind of like a fact at this stage. People don't see the Sonic games as big a deal as the Mario games. They're not as well polished, not as well designed, and it sounds like, oh my god, we've been listening to you for half an hour and now you're ragging on Sonic the Hedgehog. No, I love Sonic the Hedgehog. But I think it's just like, at this stage, it's just a case that Sonic 2D games are great, but they never have quite nailed the 3D games. And it's because they're still on this, oh, we're going to have Sonic just like grinding on rails and going really fast, and you just hold up to keep going along most of the level, but you can just easily fall off the edge. So, what does that bring us to? We're almost up to date here. Sonic Forces, everyone hated that on everything. They changed the design of Sonic so that Sonic looked like they've got bandages. Knuckles was like suddenly overly tall or something. Let's just have a look. They've got bandages wrapped around their wrists. Was that? No, sorry, I tell a lie. I'm remembering the wrong one. What was that then? Sonic, what was it? Sonic Forces. No, that was good. What was that other one? It was like some ghastly Sonic game where it was also on the Wii U. Let's see if I can find out the information on it. Reception. I can't remember the name of it. But there was like this other Sonic game. So let's see, I might come across it if it's... Because now we get to racing games. Oh my god, I skipped so many others. So let's see what it was called. It's not educational. It's 2000... So, oh my god, there's so many more. I might have to do a part 2 of this. So, I can't find the name of it. We've talked about all of Sonic Boom. There you go. Right, so, Sonic Boom was the one that people thought was, like, awful. Let's see if I can find it. So, Sonic Boom, Fire and Ice. So, what was it? Action Adventure. So, they don't even count this as a platformer. Right? So, what was it called? Shattered Crystal. So, they did quite a few Sonic Booms. Rise of Lyric. There you go. And this it said it was to be so broken they might have patched it. And let's see, mostly negative reception. And it's just trying to look at the characters. Knuckles is suddenly hench. They've all got like bandages wrapped around them. God knows why. I don't think I ever played this. So anyway, I'm going to do a part 2 of this. We've just got up to all of the 2D platform games, all of the 3D platform games. We've still got to look forward to, because today is the 30th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog. So we will do some more Sonic episodes this week, I promise. But it says here, coming up for the Switch, PS4, Xbox One, PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and for Windows PC, Sonic Rangers. I don't know how much we've got information on that. It says Sonic Rangers. When I click on it, there's no info. And I think from when Sega did that little presentation a couple of weeks ago, they sort of showed a title, but we didn't get any more on it. Anyway, for me, until next time, this is the Games Monster podcast. Do make sure you subscribe whichever platform you are listening on. We will do a part 2 of this where we're going to look at any of the Sonic racing games, Sonic R. We're going to look at, we'll talk more about Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. We will talk about some of the other spin-offs, Sonic the Fighters. We're going to talk about Sonic Riders and Sonic Zero Gravity and the All-Stars games and the tennis games and Sonic appearances in other games including Smash Brothers. But for now, make sure you head over to youtube.com/Extreme Improv and smash that subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to this on whichever platform you're listening to it on. If you've got it on your podcast apps on Apple or Google or whatever, head over to the website extremes.tv where there's going to be loads and loads of articles about games, including stuff about Sonic, and there's going to be loads of stuff. Check out the Geek Battle Show. My name's David Postansky. Stay safe, always stay extremed, and ciao for now.